Hey, what's up, YouTubers? It's me again, Brian, aka Gamer55551, and I am back with this My 2 cent video for this week, the switching game, and giving my thoughts on some switching gaming news that came out. And apparently, a lot of good, interesting news have came out this week, including the Video Game Awards, which unfortunately I didn't get to watch, but I did pick up some of the announcements and so on that was made at the awards. So why don't we get started with our first story? And for this one is sort of kind of interesting, is that Nintendo is going to have their games sort of be released on another console. Sort of, though. Let's be clear. I'm not saying it's being released on the PS4 or anything like that, but mostly on the Nvidia Shield and basically in China only, though. So why don't I read you the article, though, and we'll get started. And again, links are in the description of this video. You can check it out, though. And there is sort of an update to this article. So it points out that Nvidia Shield set-top TV box launched in China today with the same kind of Android-based game and video streaming qualities that familiar to owners here in the West, though. But that foreign launch also comes with an unexpected addition exclusive to the new market. Remastered 1080p HD versions of Nintendo Switch games such as New Super Mario Bros. Wii, The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess, and the Wii version of Punch-Out, with Super Mario Galaxy coming soon. This marks the first time in decades that a direct port of a major first-party Nintendo games have appeared on hardware not made by Nintendo. It's also the first official HD remaster of some of these 480p Wii games anywhere in the world, though Twilight Princess previously got the HD treatment on the Wii U, and the Shield TV title marks Nintendo's first effort to bring its home console games to mainland China since the Nintendo iQ player, which got around China's early 2000 ban on game consoles by playing only a handful of Nintendo 64 titles, though. For Nintendo fans outside of China, though, the Wii release on Shield TV are interesting for what might signal about Nintendo's plan to release Wii games on the Switch. After all, the Switch uses the same Nvidia X1 system on a chip as the Shield TV, which means similar HD Wii U ports should be simple for Nintendo's own console. The Chinese Shield TV port could easily be seen as a trial run for similar Switch re-releases in the near future. The update they pointed out is that a description page on NVIDIA's Chinese site suggests the Wii games in questions are run via streaming through NVIDIA's GeForce Now service rather than through an emulator directed on the Shield's hardware. This complicates the idea that the Shield is being used as a test run for any Switch Virtual Console effort. The mere existence of a remastered HD version of classic Wii titles, though, suggests Nintendo may have further plans for these games than just the basic emulator. This is an article from GameStop, and you can check out the link in the description of this video if you want to read the article, though. Personally, it's kind of interesting, but at the same time, kind of not surprising as well, considering the fact that Nintendo and Nvidia did team up to help create the Nintendo Switch. So I do kind of wonder if this was maybe something that came out as part of this partnership as well with Nvidia, besides the Nintendo, besides them helping make the Nintendo Switch, though. As far as these Wii games coming to China first, though, it's somewhat disappointing that we're not getting it over here, at least not yet. But it is kind of interesting that they are being brought over here because supposedly China did have a ban in 2000 that banned the sales of video games, mostly under the argument that it's a danger to children and all that stuff. But then later sort of lifted that ban. However, there's sort of a bit of a catch, though, and I've heard different stories about this. The fact that you have to partner up with a Chinese government-friendly company to sell your product here, and according to, if I could get it up here, this is from Wikipedia. Again, it's Wikipedia, so you could take it however you want to take it, though. It points out certain censorship over there, though. According to the article, as with all mass media in the country, video games Video games in China are subject to the policies of censorship in China, such as violating basic principle of the Constitution of the People's Republic of China, threatening national unity, sovereignty, and territorial integrity. In other words, it comes off, if it's a threat to the communist regime over there, then they're not going to allow you to sell it in China, though. Divulging state secrets, threatening state security, damaging national sovereignty, disturbing social order, or infringing upon other rights. They showed examples of, they also point out examples of banned games that have included Hearts of Iron for distorting history and damaging China's sovereignty and territorial integrity, IGI-2 Cover Strike for intentionally backing or blanketing China and the Chinese army image, Command and Conquer General 0 Hours for smearing the image of China and the Chinese army, and last but not least, it points out Battlefield 4 for smearing the image of China and endangering national security, though. So, in other words, to make a long story short, though, it's pretty much, if it damages the communist regime in China, they're not going to release the game over there. They have a very strict policy, though, and all that stuff. As for the games being released on the Nvidia Shield, though, and whether or not how it's going to be over here, I wouldn't be surprised if Nintendo has an announcement of bringing Wii games or GameCube games over to the Nintendo Switch, whether through a service or whether it will be a physical copy remains to be seen. I mean, porting some of those games, Wii games, over to Switch would be possible, considering that the Joy-Cons in general are kind of like Wii remotes in a way. Mixture of like a Wii remote and a nunchuck, though, although better. I don't expect, if they do decide to bring GameCube games and Wii games over, I don't expect it's going to be like what they're doing in China. I expect there is going to be probably a different service or so on, whether they choose to do it through downloading or digital, or whether they try to do a physical copy. So I don't think it's going to be anywhere like it is in China, though. Probably will be something different, but nevertheless, it is kind of interesting to see that these games are being released again, although I'm curious to see how some of these Wii games would work on the Nvidia Shield, though, in China, though. As for whether or not, and I don't expect, though, that this only applies to China. I don't expect we'll see any of Nintendo games or Wii or GameCube games on the Nvidia Shield here, although I'm pretty sure somebody will find a work around it, though, and find a way to make it that you could play these games on the Nvidia Shield at all. I wouldn't be surprised if someone has figured out that by now. So, but either way, though, it's very interesting that we're seeing Nintendo kind of branch out a little bit. I mean, I don't expect that. It sounds to me like I don't expect the Switch is going to be sold in China. I could be wrong, but it sounds more likely they're letting Nintendo, they're testing the waters and letting Nvidia use some of their games to see how well it will do in China. And of course, if it follows, the rules that China has over there in terms of selling games and all that stuff. I think the rules are ridiculous, but it is what it is, though. Okay, we're going to take a bit of a break, and when we come back, we're going to be talking about some more the rumors about Bandai Namco. That's really, really getting a little bit interesting, though, with some updates that just recently came out this week that might have debunked some of these rumors, though, but it's worth taking a look at, though. So we'll take a bit of a break, and we will be right back. Okay, and we are back with part 2 of our video, and for this one we're going to be taking a look at some comments that have been made about some of the rumors that have come out regarding Bandai Namco, and supposedly that they will be holding an event on December 15th, assuming this is correct, though, and that Nintendo will have a present at that event. However, there has been some latest updates that have come out about this information. So why don't I read you the article that has come out about some of this though, and again, links are in the description of this video if you want to check out some of the other articles. It points out that according to a game journalist, Marcus Seller, who worked for numerous outlets, Bandai Namco is holding an event to announce 5 new games on December 15th. He claimed that Nintendo will have a large presence at the event. This has been repeated many times, though. Alleged that these games are Dark Souls Collection, One Piece Dawn, Soul Calibur 6, which we've heard that many times, My Hero Academy, which has been announced for the PS4 and the Nintendo Switch, and Xenosaga HD Collection, though. It points out that there's been some updates on the comments, though. The Xenosaga HD Collection, the creators of that has recently said, has made a no comment on it, though. As far as the Dark Souls one, it's worth pointing out that there's been some backtrack on that announcement, and it turns out to be that it mentions that Dark Souls 1, a remake of the first Dark Souls, has been confirmed as one of the games by Seller, although recently he has deleted that tweet though, but someone has screen grabbed it. And it's also worth pointing out that Soul Calibur 6 does exist, and it was shown off at the VGA Awards last night, though, although currently right now it's shown basically only be for the PS4, Steam, and I believe Xbox One, though. So some of the rumors turn out to be that they have sort of debunked at this point, though. The Dark Souls one turns out to be, it's sounding more and more likely that it's going to be a Dark Souls 1, assuming this is true, and it looks like it could be coming to the PS4 and Xbox One and Switch as well. The Soul Calibur one turns out to be that was announced at the VGA Awards rather than this rumored December 15th event, though. It is somewhat though, disappointing that they didn't mention a Switch version, assuming it exists or not, though it is possible, and this is just a possibility, though. What is that? Is that my phone going? Okay, never mind. I mean, it's a possibility that a Switch version of Soul Calibur 6 could be announced at this rumored event, assuming this is true, or possibly at the next Nintendo Direct, which many suspected will be in January, but we don't not 100% know for certain. Or it's possible, and this could be the most likely scenario, I could be wrong, but this could be the most likely scenario, is that there is no Switch version. So it's possible that the game is just going to be released on the PS4, Xbox One, and Steam. So there is that possibility as well, which would be kind of a disappointment, but at the same time I wouldn't be surprised about that, though. The Xenosaga HD Collection, though, I think there's a good chance that one could happen as well, given how it's made. That series was made by the folks who worked on the Xenoblade Saga, though, and given how well Xenoblade Saga has certainly, Xenoblade Saga 2 has certainly done very well, to say the least, though. I heard it did good in the UK, even though the UK isn't exactly big on Nintendo games, though, and I heard in Japan it also did very well, so I wouldn't be surprised if they do a Xenosaga for the Switch, or if they're doing it for the PS4 or so on, but it would be interesting to see. Of course, we won't know until December 15th come along whether or not these rumors about this event that Bandai Namco is hosting will happen or not, though. Personally, I would like for it to happen, though, but I wouldn't be surprised if the rumor turns out to be false and it doesn't. So we'll have to wait and see. My fingers are crossed on it that this event does happen, and a lot of the list of the games that they announced, though, outside of My Hero Academy, which has already been announced, I do hope that they do announce Soul Calibur 6 for the Nintendo Switch. Again, if they don't, I wouldn't be surprised by that, though. I would like to see a Dark Soul collection, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's a remake of the first Dark Soul. Xenosaga HD collection, I would like to see that they'll come to the Switch. We'll have to wait and see if that rumor turns out to be true. But overall, it would be I would like to see these rumors come out to be true, but don't be surprised if it turns out to be false. And assuming the rumors about this December 15th event are, whether that event is true or not, we'll have to wait and see. But if it comes and go and it doesn't happen, I wouldn't be surprised at whatsoever. So I'm not raising my expectation too high, but I'm not setting it too low either. So we'll have to wait and see, though. But nevertheless, though, they did announce Soul Calibur 6 at the VGA Awards. I'm sure there are a lot of people looking forward to trying that game when that comes out, supposedly by next year, and so on, though. I'm not a big fighting game person, but hey, a lot of people have been waiting for another Soul Calibur game. Got your announcement on that one, though. Alright, we're going to take a bit of a break, and when we come back, we're going to get to two big announcements that were announced. One that was shown at the VGA Awards that just learned about yesterday, and one that was announced this week that was also announced from Capcom as well, and that's, of course, Mega Man 11. Mega Man 11, though. So we'll take a bit of a break, and we will be right back. Okay, and we are back with the third and final part of this My 2 Cent video for this week, and to me, this one's the big one right here, as we had two really big, interesting announcements that came out. One before the Video Game Awards came out, and one made during the Video Games Awards came out. So why don't we start off with the first one, and that is a whole lot of Mega Man games are being released, though. Mega Man X, that is basically the Mega Man X series, is going to be released, I think, sometime next year for the PS4, Xbox One, PC, and Switch. I'll have to double check about the PC one. Switch owners were finally getting Mega Man Legacy Collection 1 and 2 sometime next year, basically with Amiibo support. And the big one, of course, is the announcement of Mega Man 11 has been announced for the Nintendo Switch, and also PS4, Xbox One, and PC as well. That's my phone, don't worry about that, though. So why don't we read you the articles, though. This one is from brg.com. I'll have a link in the description of this video. You can check it out, though. Basically, Mega Man 11 is coming to the PS4, Xbox One, PC, Switch, and PC in late 2018, though. It points out that when Mega Man 10 came out in 2010, it looked like the beloved franchise might be coming to an end. But then on Monday, during a Mega Man 30th anniversary live stream, Capcom announced that the Blue Bomber will make his triumphant return in late 2018 with the release of Mega Man 11 on PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. While Mega Man 9 and Mega Man 10 both retain the 8-bit graphics of the original NES, Mega Man 11 will feature a new cel-shaded look with 3D sprites environments. At first glance, it looks like Mighty Number 9 than Mega Man of old, but hopefully it will play better than the widely derailed or spiritual successor. Ouch, indeed. Other than the fresh look, Mega Man 11 appears to take after its predecessors with power-ups to collect, bosses to fight, and dangerous levels to traverse. You can watch the announcement trailer below to see some gameplay. Again, links are in the description. In addition to the long-awaited sequel, Capcom revealed that all 8 Mega Man X games, I bet you that includes the ones that were released on the PlayStation 2 and the first PlayStation. Although not the X Command, that was that RPG one that they did a couple of years ago. Will be coming to the 3 major consoles and PCs next summer as well. Previously, Capcom released 2 Mega Man Legacy Collection, which together applied all 10 of the original Mega Man games into 2 packages. And then finally, Mega Man Legacy 1 and 2 will be coming to the Switch next year as well. So Switch owners will be able to pick up the entire history of Mega Man games before the end of next year. So obviously, Switch owners, we're getting Mega Man Legacy Collection, finally, though. I did read somewhere that it will also have Amiibo support. I don't know what exactly it's going to be, though, but we're getting Amiibo support on that one. Although I didn't hear anything about Mega Man X Collection getting any as well, so that's kind of interesting. Either way, looks like Mega Man is back, at least for now, but at least we're getting a new Mega Man game, and 2 of the retro ones are coming as well, though. So I'm looking forward to playing those. Hopefully they'll be in physical copies, so we'll have to wait and see, but good for Mega Man. And now the other announcement that we got about, the other one I wanted to announce, though, is, or not me announcing, but the one that was announced, though, was Bayonetta 3, along with, that will be exclusive for the Nintendo Switch, along with Bayonetta 1 and 2 coming to the Nintendo Switch, also in February. According to the article, though, from GameZone.com, again, links are in the description if you want to read some of the articles, Nintendo surprised people during the Game Awards by giving us a new look at the Legend of Zelda Championship Ballers DLC. Check that out as well. I've seen that. That looks kind of interesting. They even went the extra mile to reveal out right now. That's good as well, though. We thought that's all Nintendo had up their sleeve, but they really wanted to end 2017 with a bang. At the Game Awards, Nintendo revealed that Bayonetta 1 and 2 will release simultaneously on the Nintendo Switch February 16th, 2018, though. For what I've read about that one, though, is that Bayonetta 1 is a download-only title. If you pick up the physical copy of Bayonetta 2 for the Switch, you'll get a free download. I think you'll get a download code for that one, though. A little bit disappointed it's not 2 games in the same cartridges, but it is what it is. Disappointing, yes. Is it a huge deal? Not so much, depending on how big the file size for that one's going to be, though. And if that was enough for you, well, Platinum Games and Nintendo had another treat for you. Platinum Games is currently developing Bayonetta 3 exclusively for the Nintendo Switch, though. Can we just now say that Bayonetta is like Nintendo's own IP at this point, though? I mean, I've heard that comment. I know some will disagree, but at this point, we might as well just make it its own, make it its IP for Nintendo, though. Given that Bayonetta 2 never jumped from the Wii U, it's likely that the game will remain a solo exclusive on the Nintendo Switch. Bayonetta 3 has no release date, but we can likely expect to hear more at E3 in June 2018, and so on. First and foremost, let's start off by saying, for the Mega Man announcement that I forgot to say, I want to say, ouch to Keiji Inafune, because this is a slap in the face for what happened with Mighty No. 9. And if this game, if Mega Man 11 turns out to be better and good than what Mighty No. 9 is, oh, talk about, oh, that's gotta be really, really bad. If you're Keiji Inafune, you gotta really be kicking yourself right now after seeing how this went down, though. As for Bayonetta, I'm pleased. I'm very happy that not only are we getting the first and second game, though, and I did enjoy the second game, it just didn't sell as well as a lot of people thought it would be. Some of it has to do with the fact that the Wii U wasn't really that popular, but given how the Switch has now started to really take off, I'm glad that we're finally getting the first and second one to play on the Switch, at home or on the go. But the fact that Bayonetta 3 is now in development as well, that's thumbs up for me, though. We don't know how far in development it is, though, so, I mean, could it come out sometime in 2018? That's a possibility, though I wouldn't be surprised if a 2019 release date happens. Same with Metroid Prime 4 when they announced that at E3 earlier this year. Could they be maybe making some more mentions of Bayonetta 3 at the rumored Direct, the next upcoming Direct, supposedly in January, assuming the rumor is true? Yeah, I think it's possible they could do that, but I would suspect most likely either they're going to save it for E3, or they could do what they did with Bayonetta 2, which is basically have its own Direct, though, and that could happen maybe a little bit later down the road. So To me, I suspect probably won't hear anything about Bayonetta 3, at least for a little bit, at least for a while. E3 is the most likely guess, but I say another direct, or a direct, or Bayonetta specific direct is not out of the realm of possibility. But at the very least, we know that that franchise is still alive as well. And the fact that this is coming, though, definitely puts a smile on my face. It clearly shows Nintendo is really pushing the Switch as hard as they could, and it certainly is paying off very well. So, overall, glad that we're getting another Mega Man game, though. Glad that the retro Mega Man games are also coming to not only the Switch, but Mega Man X is also coming to the Switch, PS4, Xbox One, and PC as well. And the announcement of Bayonetta.to, and with the first one, and Bayonetta 3 is definitely a highlight for me, though. Although the Death Stranded trailer, though still confusing, is also very interesting as well. So bottom line, good for Nintendo. Good that they made this big announcement. Oh, and also congratulations to them for winning the Game of the Year at the Game Awards with The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I know some people may have not liked that game. I know some will debate whether they deserve it or not. But in either case, kudos to you, Nintendo. Congratulations for Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild receiving Game of the Year at the Game Awards. That is my phone. Whatever. Alright. Okay, this concludes this My 2 Cent video for this week. And again, these are my opinion, but what are yours? What are your thoughts about some Wii games and possibly some GameCube games appearing on the Nvidia Shield? Do you think it's a big deal? Do you think it's not a big deal? Do you think they'll come to the Nvidia Shield over here? Do you believe, like I am, most likely it will stay in China? And do you think this could give us an idea what the virtual console or the idea of Wii games or GameCube games coming to the Switch? Do you think this could give us some idea about that, though? And what are your thoughts about Bandai Namco still this rumor going around about Bandai Namco hosting an event on December 15th. Do you think it's still going to happen, or do you think it probably won't happen at all? Do you still believe Soul Calibur 6 will still come to the Nintendo Switch, or do you think it's highly unlikely, especially after they made the announcement at the Video Game Awards, announcement for the PS4, Xbox One, and PC or Steam as well? And what about the big announcements of Mega Man 11 and Bayonetta 3 being developed? Are you very pleased with those announcements? Are you very happy that Mega Man is finally coming back, at the say the least? Or do you think that he should not have come back at all? And what about the Bayonetta 3 announcement? Are you pleased with that? You're not pleased with that, though? Do you agree with what I said in this video? Do you disagree with what I said? Do you have a difference of opinion? As always, sound off on the comment section below. Let me know what you think, and I hope you hit that like button. I would appreciate it, and I hope you do subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also, feel free to share this video if you want to, and feel free to donate to my channel if you like. Links are in the description of this video, though, and I will see you again next time when I do another video. Hopefully that will be soon. Until then, from Southern California, I wish you all a good day then. Bye!